How you doing? This is Coach DeCarlo. I want to share with you a story. When I was very young, I guess about 7 or 8 years old, I had this dream. And in the dream, I was playing, and all of a sudden, as I was playing, I found this money while playing outside. And, I was so happy that I found this money while I was playing outside. And, I'm sitting there and spending the money, on my friends, and we're doing, we're having all these kind of parties and we're having fun, simply because I had found this money and we were spending it. And so when I woke up, I was so excited about the dream that I went to my pants pockets to find out if the money was still there. And needless to say, the money wasn't there. Now, oddly enough, a few days passed, and I was going about my business, being a child, and I found $60. And so of course, I found this $60, and I started spending it on my friends, and I was like the big spender. We were buying candy and playing and so forth, and somehow or another, I lost the money, or it slipped out of my pockets, and couldn't find the money anymore. And it dawned on me recently that I had created that event. Now, at the time, I had no idea about manifestation, law of assumption, or anything like that. But that's exactly what happened. In my dream, I had found this money, and then that find turned out to be reality in my waking hours. And of course, because I went to my pockets looking for the money in real life and it wasn't there, I ended up losing the money in real life. And this is the power of your subconscious mind. And like I said, as a kid, I had no clue of how this stuff worked, didn't even realize what had transpired. But it says, unless you become as a little child, you shall in no wise enter in the kingdom of heaven. And many of us keep the kingdom of heaven being this place, heaven after we die, whatever. But the kingdom of heaven is the mind of men. So when you want to enter into the state of the kingdom, you have to become childlike in your faith. Now, this doesn't speak to immaturity, but it speaks of belief. When we're children, we believe that all things are possible. And that's why children at a very young age that make a decision become doctors, lawyers, athletes, billionaires, whatever. But they decided early on that's what they were going to be. And if they're strong to their commitment, nobody will talk them out of it as they get older, and they'll continue to pursue their dream no matter what. But for those who may not be as strong, people will tend to talk them out of the agreements that they determined when they were children. And so they say, well, I always wanted to be this, but I decided on blank because, that just wasn't realistic. It wasn't realistic because somebody talked us out of it being realistic. How many times, somebody said, hey, get your head out of the clouds. Who do you think you are that you can accomplish that? And the wonderful thing that I like about what I do as a coach is I get to speak to amazing people and then help them begin to live amazing lives. Now, often when we first start having conversations, their being amazing is just a mindset or a belief or a hope or a wish. But once we have a conversation and we begin to look at their dream, their vision, and how things work, then they realize that the thing that they wanted to manifest is possible. And from that possibility, then they'll begin living from that state. And as they begin living from that state, life will begin to acquiesce and begin to mold around that individual in what we call so-called reality, the life that they desire. Now, often we're derailed because the thing that we desire doesn't happen immediately, and we say, well, this stuff doesn't work. But no, you can't be like that. You have to be like that little child, believing that the thing that you desire is going to be manifested. As a child, like I said, I found this money in my dream, and then I woke, and sometime later, money manifested in my life. For me, it was just a matter of fact as a child. But as I got older, of course, people talked me out of those dreams. They said, who do you think you are? Nobody's ever done that before. Whatever those words to protect us were, those were the things that talked us out of our dreams. What is it that you want to be, do, or have? What experiences do you want to experience? When you decide on what that thing is, when you make the choice, once you become aware, you open up the possibilities. Now, once you have the awareness of what it is that you want to be, do, or have, then you must believe that it's possible. Once you begin to believe it's possible, don't worry about the how, because you're not often going to know the how, but just believe that it's possible. And from that belief, what you're going to do is make a commitment. Whatever that dream is, that desire is, that hope, that wish, you're going to commit to it. And as I tell my clients, one thing that we don't do is break our commitments to ourselves. Now, commitments can change, but we just won't right out stop doing that thing that we've committed to. We may change our mind and decide on a different goal, that's fine. But we don't break commitments to ourselves. Now, why is that? The reason why you don't break a commitment to yourself is because once you do it, it becomes easier. And then it becomes easier to break that next commitment and the next commitment. Pretty soon you have a life full of broken commitments. The funny thing is, once you start breaking commitments to yourself, you'll start breaking them to others. And pretty soon your business will go awry. Pretty soon your lifestyle will be in chaos. And it all started with something as simple as breaking a commitment to yourself. So again, in order to manifest the life that you desire, first and foremost, you must become aware of that thing being possible. I always wanted to travel as a child. Didn't know how it was going to happen. I remember my mom saying, one day I'm going to take you guys on an airplane flight. As we were watching planes fly overhead, we went to the airport in Ohio and we would just watch the planes take off and land. She said that she was going to take us one day on an airplane ride. And so that never happened. But I did imagine in my mind's eye taking a flight on an airplane. And that became possible. Travel became possible when I joined the military. So I took my very first flight when I was in basic training, going to Parris Island, the Marine Corps boot camp. And then I never stopped traveling from there. I didn't know how I was going to travel the world. I didn't know how it was going to start. But it started first and foremost with an ideal. Likewise with attaining money. Initially, I had no idea how money was going to be manifested. I just had a desire to manifest money. And opportunities began to present themselves so that, of course, I could manifest money. Same with relationships. No matter what it is that you want to manifest, you have to start first and foremost with the awareness of that thing being possible. Then you go to belief. You hold on to the belief that you can do this. Once you grab a hold of that belief and then you commit to it, it's just a matter of time before that thing becomes your reality. This is how manifestation works. You can go into living from the end and you can use various tools, but you're going to go through these 3 steps. You're going to become aware, you're going to take ownership, or you're going to believe that it's possible, then you're going to commit to whatever that belief is. Once you do that, no matter what tools you use besides that, your belief, your commitment, your awareness is bringing that thing to you. But as Scripture says, you can no wise enter into the kingdom of heaven unless you become as a little child. This is Coach DeCarlo saying, only you can create your perfect world. Not God or man. Only you can create your perfect world. Till we speak next time, have a great and abundant day.